Kim and I want to thank you for joining us once again. We're excited to share with you the vision that God has given us for Disciple Path North America. And as we think about those things, we're reaching North America and beyond through local church discipleship training and coaching. We're helping churches to develop a disciple making culture that calls scripturally individuals to be disciples who make disciples. And that's exactly what the Lord Jesus left us with, that great commission. And as we think about that possibility, we're talking about raising up disciple making churches. In our last session, we talked about that foundation, what God has done over this past year, and how the foundation has been laid. And so, looking at that next step, we're talking about being funded 100%. We were led of the Lord to step away from the pastorate. And that meant stepping away from housing, from salary, from benefits, from healthcare, all of those things, and starting all over again, having to raise the funds for all of those particular things. So we are prayerfully developing monthly partnerships. We are currently at about 50% of what we need each month. Now, God and many of you have provided one-time gifts that were a great blessing. They've sustained us, they've carried us. But when it comes to budgeting, we can only act on meeting a budget when we have the monthly giving that meets that budget. And so our goal this year, this coming year in 2023, is to develop monthly partnerships that will help us to reach 100%. And that will free us up for ministry because God has some exciting things ahead. I just want to share with you that early on in this process, we received a call from a lady who was in my father's second church down in Florida. And she heard what God was doing and gave us a call and said, I want to be a part of what God's doing. I want to help. And so Mrs. Ferrari, who literally changed my diaper in nursery when she was working in the nursery, that's how long ago this was, and who we hadn't seen in decades or heard from in decades, called us and said, I want to be a partner. And so we were blessed by her and by the Lord with a substantial gift. And then she continued to give monthly and went to be with the Lord about 6 months ago. So it's an amazing thing that we've seen God do with those of you who have given, including Mrs. Ferrari, who we had not heard from in all of these years, up in her 80s and continuing to be faithful and continuing to serve the Lord. And as we raise these partnerships, which we're looking forward to and encouraging you and asking you to be a part of, it will allow us to go national in 2024. And I want to be sharing that with you in the next session. It is very, very exciting what God is doing. We want to fulfill the vision God has given us for what he's called us to do. And we want to equip the next generation as we partner, and also as you'll have a part in the training and mentoring of the next North American director of DisciplePath. So again, thank you for those who have been a part of all of this. You've made this possible, and we encourage you to prayerfully consider being a part of this with us, that God can use you in this ministry as we do the Great Commission together. God bless.